all seriousness, your thoughts as Monday Night Football was playing out with Bills safety Damar Hamlin?
Boy, like everyone, you probably had a million of them, and I was watching it, and you just couldn't kind of believe what you were seeing because you hadn't seen it before. Obviously, we've seen stretchers come out for players and all that, but you could again, this isn't a revelation. You could just tell by the player's reaction, but something was serious here, and obviously it turned out to be about as serious as you can get. And I'll be honest, I watched it, and then ultimately I turned it off. Mm-hmm. When they started going back to Scott Van Pelt and Ryan Clark, who I understand did a great job, all that good stuff. It wasn't them that turned me off. I mean, I just said, I don't need to see or hear any more of this. And I was going to do some work that night. I was going to study some tape, and I wanted nothing to do with football at that point. I don't know how everybody else felt, but, I was like literally sick to my stomach.
Babe, did you ever have a feeling before a game or teammates having that feeling? I don't know if we can play this game. I don't know if we're prepared. And what do you think, to that end about the NFL maybe pushing back these games this weekend?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what they're going to decide. And as you guys know, no matter what they decide, it's going to be the wrong thing, right? Somebody's going to have a complaint about whatever it is. And I do believe that the NFL is going to try to do the right thing and do the right thing by the teams. And I give them the benefit of the doubt there. And I know there are times where they don't deserve the benefit of the doubt. But I think they're going to try to do, again, what's right. Now, the question is, what is right? I don't even know if you just have a coin flip between the two teams. If you ask both Cincinnati and Buffalo, look, what if we just flipped a coin? I'm not so sure that they wouldn't say that that's okay with us. I think anything and everything is kind of on the table at this point. But no, I've never had a situation where it's been that serious. I will tell you, and this is not to make it about me, although it'll sound like I'm making it about me, but I think I bet you half the players have gone through something where they said, oh my gosh, am I paralyzed? Am I this? And I was playing at Indiana. We're playing Iowa, and I get hit in the throat by Andre Tippett, future Hall of Famer for the New England Patriots. But I mean, he literally closed down my windpipe. It wasn't intentional, but he's coming in to make the tackle. And back then, you could hit high and low and anywhere you wanted. And anyway, I got like just a punch to the throat. I could not breathe. I literally thought I was going to die. They came out on the field. And if you can picture this, so they turned me upside down, so my lower body was on the ground, but my helmet, the crown of my helmet was then on the ground. So I'm bending backwards. They're just trying to open up the airway so that I can breathe.
Wow.
And I swear to you, I said, I mean, you could not get a breath. I could not get anything down my windpipe. And, thank goodness that they had the ability to do that. But it was crazy. And again, hey, there's a lot of players. Again, I don't want to say that everybody has gone through what Damar Hamlin did, because that's not true. It's not accurate. It's not even close. But, there are some times where something happens where you go, oh my goodness. But then obviously that you have medical personnel, whatever it is, and you back out, right? So that was what was really disturbing, the length of time. You just knew at that length of time that they were out there, and nobody really knew what was happening, but you knew the length of time was not good.
If both teams are cool, like with playing that game, do you think that the league kind of has to play it if both teams want to?
Yeah, and I think they will defer to the teams. Let me just backtrack. The last thing the NFL is going to do or should do is have either team, Cincinnati or Buffalo, say, we really don't want to do that. And then you say, no, you're going to do that. I think both teams are in a situation where they're going to do what the other team wants to do, if that makes any sense. neither team is going to say, no, that's not fair. We want to play on this day, or we want to do this. Obviously it's been discussed, could go to a neutral site. There's any number of things you can do to get it. But really, to me, the teams and the coaches and the organizations, those two teams are going to drive the discussion. I don't want to say they need to be involved. They need to drive it. They need to say, here's what we decided, and just have the NFL give their seal of approval, to me, as opposed to the NFL saying, here's what we decided. Are you guys okay with this? Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. But we're at the playoffs. This isn't, the COVID years, obviously, team got hit with COVID or whatnot. They had to reschedule. There were bye weeks in there. We're out of bye weeks, obviously, at the end of the season. So it's going to be difficult logistically. There's just no way around that.
Babe Laufenburg here on The Fan. Last week you pulled out the draft scouting notebook for Malik Willis. We got the last-second surprise that Dobbs was going to play, and now Washington is switching things up to Sam Howell. Do you have the Sam Howell draft report?
I do. And as a matter of fact, I tweeted before the draft. I think I'll have to go back and find that and retweet it if that's possible. But I loved him coming out of UNC. I'm not so sure that he wouldn't have been my guy. Now, that doesn't mean take him with the number one pick in the draft, but I liked him as well as anybody coming out. So here's the report I have. Too tough for his own good. I mean, he would just run into people. That's not going to work in the NFL.
All right.
UNC ran him too much. He got the crap beat out of him. They took 47 sacks. UNC last year wasn't very good. They were good the year before. Good arm, effortless delivery, good footwork, nice balance, good runner, strong and nifty. A lot of drops. every game I was like, well, they dropped that one. Well, they just dropped that. Well, at the end of the game, you had like 5 drops every game, so the numbers might not have looked. And I said a little bit of Baker Mayfield in him. Now, you can decide whether that's good or bad. But he's kind of got a little bit that same build, stocky. I do know this. The Washington Commanders, they were not going into that draft looking to get a quarterback. Now, you could say, well, that was stupid, but they just signed Wentz and Heineke and blah, blah, blah. But anyway, when Howell was sitting in their 5th round, they just thought he was too good to pass up. And I would agree. Now, that being said, Sunday's going to be a whole different ballgame for him. And he's so far removed from getting reps. I always said that the best thing that happened to Cooper Rush was he played early in the season, right? He played in week 2, played a little bit in week 1, started in week 2, but he had all those training camp reps, off-season reps, preseason game reps. Sam Howell doesn't have that benefit. He's 4 months removed from, getting on the field and playing legitimate football. So we'll see where it goes, but I really do like him. Yes.
I found Babe's tweet, by the way, and you want to hear you want to hear his Nostradamus takes on the quarterback class?
Find my tweet
because
you find my tweet and I can't
because I'm Penn Badgley.
He's young.
Wow, that's a really good reference.
Thank you. A couple of Babe's takes here. Sam Howell is the quarterback I would take first. I know that won't happen, but I'm not going to regurgitate other people's opinions. Malik Willis really scares me with poor mechanics, and then here's the home run. Love Bailey Zappi as early mid-round pick. Crushed the quarterback ticks.
He's the guy.
Somebody needs to hire me, it sounds like.
All right, look, I want to give you the list of the this came out last night, so kind of a pop quiz. I want to give you the latest candidates for the Hall of Fame 2023 class. I'm just going to rip through the names, and you tell me the 3, 4, 5, 6 that jump out to you they should be in or you have strong opinions about. Ready?
Okay.
Devin Hester, Torrey Holt, Reggie Wayne, Andre Johnson, Joe Thomas, Willie Anderson, Jared Allen, Patrick Willis, DeMarcus Ware, Zach Thomas, Freeney, Albert Lewis, Rondé Barber, Revis, and Darren Woodson. I know I probably should have told you to get a pen.
I already had one.
Oh, look at this guy.
Always prepared.
Look at this guy.
Oh, yes, I already had one. I wrote down most of them. Okay, Darren Woodson I'm going to take off the table because he's a Cowboy and I'm biased. Okay?
All right.
Is that fair?
Sure. It's your list.
Okay. Devin Hester, literally the way Peyton Manning took Denver to a Super Bowl and the way quarterbacks take teams to Super Bowl. Devin Hester took that Bears team with Rex Grossman at quarterback to the Super Bowl. That year, they won. Chicago won games by taking the ball away on defense and Devin Hester returning punts and kickoffs. So, and I think those punt and kick returners are underrepresented, right? If we want to talk about three phases of the game, well, you got to get a few of those guys in. So Hester is in.
All right.
It's funny, Holt and wayne
and Johnson.
and who was the third? Yeah, Andre Johnson. They're almost the same guy. The numbers get so inflated now that they've all got 1,000 receptions. I'm assuming. I'd have to look at all that and have somebody make the argument. They're all worthy, but now DeMarcus, again, biased, but he should have been in the first one.
Yep.
Albert Lewis, if you're not of a certain age. I
had no idea who he was.
Okay, played for Kansas City, corner, great corner. I mean, let me just tell you, he would get my vote. I remember.
Wow.
Yes. We were well, I was with the Cowboys. It was Troy's rookie year. We played Kansas City. And the team was not good, but their two corners were great. And their safety, Deron Cherry, was excellent. But I said, you're going to feel they're going to play press man coverage all day, and you're not going to find an open receiver. I don't know what Troy went number-wise in that game, but they just shut us down on the outside. They would lock on, play man. Again, if the team was better, they would have got a lot more recognition. But they were playing in, kind of a small market, bad team for years. But Albert Lewis was about as good as it could get.
Okay.
So he's got my vote. Anybody I'm missing in there?
Revis, Joe Thomas in.
Yeah, Joe Thomas just, it's so funny because I'll be quick here because nobody wants to talk offensive tackles. But what do you make, 11 straight Pro Bowls?
10.
Literally never missed a snap. I mean, he had the consecutive snap deal, not just games or starts. He didn't miss a play for all those years. And if he were a quarterback, you wouldn't even begin to talk about him, right? I don't think he ever played in the playoff game.
Yeah, right.
But he's not a quarterback. But I would say Joe Thomas probably gets in there as well.
Excellent, as always. Thank you, Babe. Have a good trip, man.
Okay, appreciate it, guys. Thank you. Watch out for that Sam Howell now.